explain the institutional reform, the impact of the institutional reform. To the low efficiency of the two-child policy.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I still not find it very useful.
What do you mean when you say bureaucracy autonomy? What do you mean by autonomy?
And I think it's
that it's separate, that it has its own way of working, or
yes, because at first it's a family planning commission, and then it was merged with other institutions to a new commission.
I see. I see. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the bureaucratic element increased through that, through those institutional changes.
I think it loses its autonomy. Maybe.
I see. Okay, it became more dependent.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so maybe I think it's one of the reasons that the new two-child policy is not that efficient in the implementation is institutional reform. But the theory it's still not very clear. So maybe I should look for more readings about it.
But I think what you should do also is when you describe the context of the policy implementation, like I was saying to everyone, it would be good, especially with Chinese bureaucracy, which is so vast, it would be good to be able to identify what it consists of, what are the layers. So you have so this is very useful for me because you give me an idea of who is involved in that, in those bureaucracies, in that planning, in implementing that policy. So then it would be useful to, so you have those levels, and then you have central government, which probably gives the impetus for the change, right? And then you have at the lower level, you have the families that are going to be affected. So it's good when you think about will this policy work or not, to think about from whose perspective.
Yeah.
So it's one thing from the perspective of the government, like we were saying together here with your slide. For the policy to work means more economic growth, more productivity, a larger labor market, etc. That will mean for China, for the state of China, the policy work. For the families, what does it mean that they're now allowed to have 2 children instead of 1? It's not just that they can have a higher income or more, or be part of a healthier economy. There are other aspects to do with family life, to do with fertility rights, to do with what access.
Elderly.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why it's important when we think about bureaucracy. It is who is part of that bureaucracy, and when we think about the problems of bureaucracy, who do they apply to? Yeah.
Yeah.
That will help you then. That is the way you can then match the general characteristics of bureaucracy with the specifics of the situation. This is what the essay asks you to do.
Yeah. So we can talk about several social problems in the essay, right?
Again, so because you all ask me, can we talk about several social problems, several theories? I am flexible and open to you to talk about one or more, but I think it makes sense to try and have a focus.
A focus, yeah.
So, same as I said with the theory, you start with bureaucracy and then you can add to complement or to expand 1 or 2 key other aspects. Same with the problem. You need to start with what is the main problem, but of course, social problems relate to each other. So as I said now, the problem of underpopulation is not just a problem of underpopulation, it's a problem to do with resources, with families, with gender rights, with access to education. So it's not that you have to talk about all of them, but I think it's helpful to acknowledge that there are other aspects and then focus maybe on 1 or 2 that are useful to make up some points. Does that make sense?
Do you think it is possible to just use the bureaucracy or most bureaucracy to explain the forced abortion, to explain the violence?
It's an interesting thing to do, yeah. I mean, I need to see a bit more about how you would do it, but it sounds like an interesting idea, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also I want to clarify on the poster.
Yeah.
So the problem is forced abortion. some map to show the forced abortion because it is very, I think it's very well known, and there's a lot of.
Well, that's fine.
cases.
But the problem, I said that the problem in the poster can be more general. It don't have to be too specific. So
Okay.
so I don't mind that about the
Okay,
poster.
cool. And
You're talking about Anopli, that's good. Also, you got that. Yeah.
yeah, and also, it's just poster, so it's bullet points, so it may not fully. It's a little bit rough, so it may not fully show the underlying.
Sure, but that's the poster can only convey so much. That's why this is only 30%. We've got 70%, which is the main part, which is the space to unpack those ideas.
Okay.
And you get 1 mark for the 2, so these are marked together.
Okay, cool. So, okay, that's it.
So not to worry, you're on the right track.
Of course. No, I do not have further questions.
I'm interested about the Maoist bureaucracy. I mean, I think also because, also because, I'm interested in Chinese politics in particular, and it's, you folks have you all been through the Chinese education system?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how much, for example, the influence of like Mao's writings and thinking, how much you get taught that. Probably not so much, right?
About writing. You, okay.
Yeah, like the Little Red
Is
Book
it
and
that
all
we need
that.
to read that?
Sorry?
Do you mean that if we need to read Mao's works?
Oh, yeah, not for this course. I mean, do you in school? Do you read Mao's?
We've done the
We
course.
have the compulsory course in university.
Yeah.
Oh,
about
in
Mao.
university, yeah.
In
Okay,
university.
so what did you study at university?
It's like basically everyone in the college need to take it's compulsory for everyone. It's called, but to be specific.
Let's walk downstairs.
Sure.
Yeah.
But to be specific, it's not called Mao's work. Instead,
What is it called?
It's called Marxist and communist, Marxism communist thoughts, right? Yeah, thoughts.
Okay, right.
Which means that our political system or the underlying ideology is based on Mao's thoughts and also on Marxism thoughts.
Yeah.
And what is very interesting is that they adapt this series to the modern changes, to any modifications that they need.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I think, from my understanding, Mao's writings were sort of kind of more hidden for a few years, and now I think with President Xi, they're coming back a little more.
Oh, really?
I think that's my understanding. Yeah.
But actually, you need to clarify what you're referring to when you are talking about Mao's thoughts. Yeah, because it's really, his thought is really influential. That's why that the work is so useful in modern times because most ideas and his thought to ratify members' ideas first in the party and next nationwide is still used nowadays. Yeah. And it's actually institutionalized.
Yeah, but then some of the more radical ideas, things like the Cultural Revolution. The kind of forced the role of the rural liberation of the rural classes, the